Hey guys, Mr. Doggy's here, and we come to bring you Brandon Aiyuk trades. We're gonna give you 5 destinations that he could end up today. We're gonna go through each one of them. We're gonna talk about options, situations, quarterbacks, money, and what are the chances that they can go. I'm gonna go with the first team and the Arizona Cardinals. I think this team has a pretty low chance of taking Brandon Aiyuk only because they're a division rival. I think their situation is beautiful for Brandon Aiyuk. He'd probably be the one bravo to Marvin Harrison Jr. I know he's a rookie, but that man's going to be a dog. They got Kyler Murray back from the injury. I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback, and I think this offense is going to be a top 10 on the league. I think Brandon Aiyuk could take that backseat role to Marvin Harrison Jr. after he blossoms in a few years. I think that they would be willing to re-sign him. I just don't know if they're willing to re-sign him for as much as he's wanting, because they have about $35 million in cap. That's going to take a lot of their cap away, and they won't be able to re-sign anyone else or sign anyone else. So I don't know if the Cardinals will do it. I probably give this around a 15 to 20% chance of this actually happening. It's a lot lower just because it's the Cardinals and a division rival with the 49ers. With the number 2 team, we're going to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this team has a really good chance of taking Brandon Aiyuk off the 49ers with a great package. They have Justin Herbert, who is an elite quarterback that can throw Brandon Aiyuk. They have Ladd McConkey as the number 2 and Quentin Johnson, who could be the number 3 easily. I know Quentin Johnson has his issues, but if they get the Ladd McConkey and Brandon Aiyuk, they could put Quentin Johnson as that second-year breakout player. Jim Harbaugh likes to run the ball, though. That could be the downfall. However, Brandon Aiyuk likes to run. He likes that running style because he can be physical, and he wants to be there. He wants to win. He wants to get to the championship again, and he wants to do it, but he also wants to get paid. And I think the Chargers can pay him. They have about $72 million in cap next year, so they can be willing to pay him and add some extra pieces along with them. They're already a good team. They're very underrated. I think this team could be a top 15 team this upcoming year with Brandon Aiyuk joining. And honestly, their ceiling is extremely high. They could be a top 5. So with Brandon Aiyuk coming, I think this chances goes to about 65% chance of Brandon Aiyuk coming in. And going to the third team, we're talking about the Washington Commanders. I think this team is a dark horse to get Brandon Aiyuk off the 49ers. They can get a good package, and they just got a number 2 overall, Jaden Daniels. I think this man's going to be a dog in this league. He's going to bring that new Fasoma, throwing the ball, running the ball, and being the guy. He can probably win an MVP in the next 5 years. However, if he has Brandon Aiyuk with Scary Terry, he has a much higher chance of winning this MVP award. I'm calling it now. Now, did you know Jaden Daniels and Brandon Aiyuk were actually good friends in high school? They both went to Arizona State, and now they could be reunited. The guy that Brandon Aiyuk FaceTimed was actually Jaden Daniels. Dan Quinn actually likes to have that veteran experience and veteran depth on his team, and they're willing to pay Brandon Aiyuk to get him over there for the long term. I think they have about $100 million in their cap in the next year, so they can definitely afford to be able to take this Brandon Aiyuk and make him blossom into this guy that we all know he is. He's already going to be a dog in fantasy no matter what team he goes to. He's a dog in the football field no matter what team he goes to. He can run, he can pass, he can do all the catching. He just do everything, man. I know that sounds a little weird, but he can just do it all. And I think Brandon Aiyuk is one of those guys you should really invest in fantasy. With the fourth team, we are going to the New England Patriots. Now, I don't think this team really is the best fit for Brandon Aiyuk, but I don't think Brandon Aiyuk will really have much of a choice when it comes down to it. I think the Patriots are willing to overpay a little bit. They have about $45 million in their cap space, and I think they're willing to pay Brandon Aiyuk that extra bit to get him over there and be that number 1 for Drake May. I don't think there's any competition for to be the number 1. I think he's willing to put the work in and get there with Drake May and get that chemistry going and make them blossom. And probably not this upcoming year, but what about the year after? Drake May keeps getting compared to Josh Allen. So if Drake May turns into this Josh Allen-esque, this could be insane for both of them. This can boost their career, but I don't know if Brandon Aiyuk's willing to take that 4-year run for playoffs to maybe miss a year or 2 but get paid $32 million a year. I think this is going to be an interesting scenario if it does happen. However, I actually think this one's a lot higher than most. I think this one could be around 75-80% chance of happening if it does happen. Now, with the 5th and final team, we are going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team does not seem like they would be a great fit for Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, they would be a great fit on the field, but I just don't see the Steelers actually making a trade that deep to go getting a wide receiver guys and Brandon Aiyuk. They're Pittsburgh Steelers. They don't listen to their fans. They listen to what they want and only what they want. They're gonna win no matter what. Or they're gonna go 9-8. We all know what's gonna happen. Wow. Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's gonna do his 9-8, 10-7 kind of SK thing and get another contract extension. Now I like Tomlin. He's a great dad. He's a great freaking role model to be on that field and be there for those guys. And I know they're all adults, but at the end of the day, that is a guy that you want to lead. He just needs a really good quarterback because I feel like his quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger has been low. So maybe Justin Fields or Russell Wilson can come in here and take the reins. Now, as a Broncos fan, I hope Russell Wilson does good, but don't let his stats deceive you. His stats were way too good for what he did. I was on freaking life alert every time we were on the field because I just knew something was gonna happen. It was either the greatest play in the world or Jesus Christ, what is going on? Why is our $50 million quarterback doing this again? But at the end of the day, I really hope everyone succeeds, and I think that team would be a good fit. I just don't see it happening. I think it's about a 30% chance. They have the money to be able to pay him, but they just don't seem like they want. And side note, Justin Fields returning kickoffs in Madden is insane. I think it's funny, but I think don't be deceived whenever he comes out on that field and he returns that kick and he's been saying the whole time, he's like, I'm not doing this. I didn't come here for this. What if you did? And he's just telling you guys no. Now, that's all I got. This is where I sit, and this is Mr. Doggy. So I hope you have a great day. Keep doing you.